it wouldn't surprise me if later on down the road we find out that Will Smith put out a call to Nick Cannon and was like, look, man, I need some heat taken off of me. What can you do me for? Because memory serves me correctly, Will Smith put Nick Cannon on. Way back in the day, he saw Jermaine Dupri was doing pretty well with Lil Bow Wow, and he's like, huh, I can get me a little brown sidekick. And so and so that's how we ended up with Nick Cannon, is because Will Smith was like, yo, I think this guy's funny. So he's been saying some things, and he's lost his job with Viacom, one of these six overlords of entertainment. And it's now just blowing up out of control. So what I want to do is go over the comments that he made and really just my guy, come on. It's a bit ridiculous. It really is on the ridiculous side. Let's get into this.
Then let's go to what it really is. Then when we talk about the power of melanated people, when we talk about who we really are as guys, and understanding that our melanin is so power and it connects us in a way that the reason why they fear black, the reason why they fear is because the lack that they have of it. So then when you
So it really is so, like, there is this line of thought, right, that is so permissible, particularly within the Muslim and the black community, and particularly in the black community via the prison systems. One of the things I was thinking about recently is the fact that I've only done a month in prison, and that was in Quantico while I was in the military. So I didn't go to jail. Like, there's no alphabeticalness going on in military prisons, guys. I'm telling you. Well, not to my knowledge. It wasn't Oz. I'll put it to you like that. And through that repeated cycle, recidivism, there's just this mindset and ideology that permeates when it comes to the way that a lot of melanated people look at themselves. Let's keep going.
See what Dr. Francis C. Welsing talked about is that fear and that just genetic annihilation, efficiency of when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated. So therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion.
Bruh, really? Does it? Because, okay, so this is why grievance studies needs to go. I'm telling you. Like, this is the nonsense that they be teaching people. Yes, because you're a few shades darker than the next person, you're more compassionate. No, it really, like, people don't work like that, Nick. I don't know if, isn't your baby mother Mariah Carey? Isn't she, like, half white, half black? What, like, it really, like I say, these arguments, this mindset really does collapse in and of itself. Crap. Went back too far.
So then when you see what Dr. Francis C. Welsing talked about is that fear and that just genetic annihilation, efficiency of when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated. So therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion. Melanin comes with soul. That we call it soul. We soul brothers and sisters. That's the melanin that connects us. So the people that don't.
Okay, I don't believe that by any stretch of the imagination. Just because, oh yeah, you're dark. So does that mean that Danny Glover has more soul than you? I mean, or Digimon Hunzu, the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, and the super dark guys, or Idris Elba. Does that mean he just has more soul than you? I'm sorry, I believe men. The Y chromosome. Yeah, we have souls. Ladies, yeah, of course you have a soul too, but it's more connected to the soul of your father or your husband, whoever you went before. That's way too deep of a thing to get into there. But to sit there and be like, oh well, this person, because of the color of their skin, is soulless, dude, that's terrible. That's an awful thing. That's the awful thing to imply. Real talk.
Are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are
Not carefully enough. Like, seriously.
A little less. And where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan, to where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun, that the sun then started to.
Bro, are you giving Melanin the lore of Superman? Jesus Christ. Yeah. And he brought up Farrakhan. Oh my goodness. And you got all these people who like to just, and it's just nothing but word salad and bullshit when it comes to like events that you weren't there for. So like, that's just the way I tend to look at things. And I know there's so many people who don't, but hey, I'm just like, I wasn't there for that, man. I can't, like, I'm not going to sit there and waste my time or waste my life worrying about things I wasn't there for when, trust me, there's plenty here right now that needs to be addressed and needs to be taken care of. But they are so wrapped up in these histrionics and they don't have the power of the sun. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, yo, my guy. It's sad. It really is.
Deteriorate them. So then they're acting out of fear. They're acting out of low self-esteem. They're acting out of a deficiency. So therefore,
wow, it's too close to that inferiority shtick, man. It's racist in and of itself when you're sitting there doing like, oh yeah, well, I mean, they're just deficient. They're deficient of compassion. They're not, and it's super weird for you to sit here and scream about how deficient of compassion, our fair-skinned compatriots are, when you got so many of them out there with their heart in the right place, just actions in the wrongdoing. But, oh my goodness, yes, Black Lives Matter, and da da da. I'm pretty sure quite a few genuinely believe, like, saying like, oh my goodness, I don't want to be racist to an extent, but it's just a bit of projection. And when it comes to projection, Mr. Canon, like, that's exactly what it feels like you're doing. And make absolutely no mistake, if it was also powerful, right? If they didn't splash into each other and create this gray area when you have, mixed people, because whether you want to admit it or not, you are super light, bro. So you're not like, you're not Danny Glover dark, my guy. You're not Delroy Lindo dark. So you yourself have, different things, different, races within you. It's one of the things about America. Most of us do. So to sit here and be like, oh, well, one's just completely deficient, and then the other one takes over the other one. I'm sorry, if the melanin were also powerful, you, sir, would be as dark as the rest of the clothes that you're wearing. Real talk. But it splashes together to create a gray. It splashes together to create a Derek Jeter, to create a Your Baby Mama, Mariah Carey, a Centoya Brown. So that's just how that works out. It's a combination of the two. And you can equate it, it's like, if you want to put numbers to it, 50-50. Because the seed and the egg, right? I mean, the balance of our universes, the seed and the egg, it all comes together in a 50-50 split. But he's sitting here talking about like, yeah, they're lesser. They are lesser. Ooh, phew. Yeah, I kind of don't blame Viacom for coming for your neck, but you got money, you'll be fine. Where's that Dr. Selby video? Because then he said he was going to finish up the Dr. Selby stuff. So let's keep going.
Only way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and fight or flight, in order to survive. Exactly. So then,
hold the fuck on. You're saying, like, because guys are like, fight or flight, and they have to act evil. They have to, be so, like, wow. Ew, this is bad. This is bad. My goodness.
These people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people. Right. They had to be savages. They had.
Sounds exactly like if you just reverse it, it's the same stuff that, like the Klan and skinheads and those who decide to distribute hate, like genuine hate. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same arguments. They are savages. My guy, come on.
To be barbaric. Because they're in these Nordic mountains, they're in these rough, torrential environments. So they're acting as animals. Right. So
Okay, so but that's the thing. In Africa, they were at war. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the other melanated places, like before civilization became civilized, you know, like you do what you have to do. I mean, and you're talking about Vikings and that type of mythology. That's cool shit. I actually like it. I have every interest in checking out Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's an interesting time period. So to sit here and just like, oh well, and try to use that as a what to sit here and say, or at least imply where the people of today are, like using history is it's nonsense. It really is.
They're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages. And then they built up this, I don't want to say.
See, here's the funny thing, because I just see that as us as men, you know, like I talk about this in a ton of videos. Beast mode, you know, working out, push-ups, sit-ups, plenty of juice, you know, like the testosterone, feeling your masculinity and being, you know what I'm saying, like being an animal, because ultimately that's what we are. We're just the ones with thumbs. You know, and it's due to that thumb respect. You can't sit here and say, particularly in the year 2020, where when a lot of things were said and done before our lifetimes, sit here and be like, oh, well, you know, they were animals. So are we. We are animals. All of us. When you, at our basic biological level, that's what we are. Really no different than any other, you know, beast that walks around. And but I'm not using beast in a derogatory way. I really hope you guys get that. Like when I sit here and say, yeah, beast and bra, like, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like this is a man's channel. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's not derogatory. You know, it's an acknowledgement of, yeah, that's like we are driven by instinct as human beings. The color has nothing to do with it. But like I said in the beginning of this video, it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, we'll threw him a few bucks and was like, yo, hold me down, because I'm really getting called out for my cuckoldry right now. So, guys, with that being said, oh man, we're gonna leave this one. That's the end. We're done. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know, what do you guys think in the comments? Yeah, not a fan. I am not particularly enjoying, you know, the animus that's just being thrown out there. I mean, if you say this in reverse, there's so many people who would be up in arms, rightfully so. So, you know, you losing your bid with Viacom and everything else like that. He's like, oh yeah, I built a $1 billion brand and wilding out. Okay, sure. You know, whatever. That's between y'all. It's really none of my business. I just wanted to address the nonsense that he really put out there, and he really did. Jesus Christ. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments, and until the next one.